Fair warning, this blog is going to be different. One, it is a video blog, and I'm doing it for my year of courage that I'm doing. However, it's going to be different because I'm not going to sit in one place and tell you what I thought about the movie. I have a tendency of it playing back in my head, and I find a deeper meaning in it over several days, sometimes several weeks. There are even movies that I watched in my 100 movies in 2016 that I still find a deeper meaning to, and I only saw them once, and that was almost 2 years ago. So, this is going to be edited in me in various spots with various different clothes on, in various spots, in various places, and possibly with various people, for all I know. But it will be a little bit different, but this is just going to be me thinking of things, and all of a sudden new things hit me, and I will just pop out my phone and say what I have to say and then edit it all together later. So hope you enjoy whatever it turns out to be. Also, fair warning, there are spoilers, so if you want to see the movie without it being spoiled, I would stop watching now. The movie that I chose to do the video blog on actually coincided with the month that the Academy Awards came out. So earlier this month, in March of 2018, they announced that the newest Best Picture to be added to the Best Picture list was The Shape of Water. It won, and it was nominated for 13 Academy Awards, so it probably would have been a bit of a shock if it did not win, but it did win. So I was very interested in seeing it, and since I watched all of the Best Picture movies last year, I figured that doing this one was also going to keep me up to date with the Best Picture list and also knock out my Courage list at the same time. So I thought it was going to be great. The Shape of Water is a movie. It is I guess you can call it a fairy tale-esque type movie about a woman who is mute in the 1960s America, where she works at kind of like this underground possible secret agency. It's not really clarified, at least in the first showing that I saw, what exactly where she works at, but it's a reminiscent of kind of an Area 51-ish type place. She is in this room cleaning it because she's a janitor. Her and her friend are cleaning the room, and a bunch of scientists come in with this big canister that has this amphibious type man in it, and the whole movie is basically she develops a friendship with this being who some people believe is a god out of the Amazon forest. She develops a friendship with him and ultimately finds out that he is going to be killed, and so she tries to set him free. And basically the entire movie is a development of their friendship into a possible relationship that they have, all while trying to save him. And it's a really interesting movie. It's got some very interesting points that I'm still trying to unravel in my own head. So we'll see how it goes. I will say the very first thing that I noticed about Eliza, the main character in the movie, was the fact that she sees beauty in everything. She is constantly looking for the good, even though when you kind of learn about her life and you find out that people harmed her, and they don't go into great detail about how, but you're given the impression that the reason she's mute is because people harmed her. That she has been served this total injustice and heartbreaking lesson on humanity, on just people. Some people are just evil and cruel, and yet she chooses to see the beauty in everything. She just every little thing. She literally works in this dark, dingy dungeon of a place, and she finds beauty in the most unexpected places, which is a great big reason as to why their friendship between this fishman and her blossoms, is because she chose to be patient and chose to see him as beautiful instead of this scary, ugly thing. Out of the kindness that she shows him, she is able to connect with him and able to befriend him, unlike anybody else in the movie.
Another thing that I liked about this movie was how this group of people banded together to help one another, and that there were no judgments between any of them. Like, for example, this creature, this fish man, was taken back to Liza's house, and Liza's neighbor, who's also one of her best friends, was watching him. He fell asleep. The fish man escaped and went next door to the best friend's apartment, and one of his cats had scared him, and he actually ended up killing the cat. Now, most every other movie that you would see, that would be an instantaneous change of how you feel towards the how you feel towards the person who killed the cat. So you're sit there and you're conflicted, you're worried because, you know, you don't want him to hurt the cat, but you're also scared because now you think the best friend is going to say, screw it, and call the cops. Well, the best friend wakes up, hears the noise, goes over, finds out what's going on. He gets scared off. And when he gets, and scares off the fish man. When the fish man gets scared off, the guy wasn't like, I'm relieved. The guy was literally like, oh my gosh, he's out there loose, we need to save him. He has no idea what he's doing. He was genuinely more worried for this fish man than he was about his cats, about, you know, the things that live with him and love him, versus this one thing that we saw, this one-time creature that you're never going to see again, essentially, at least for him. He cared, and he was very concerned, and he really wanted him to come back so he could be safe and not die. And you were shocked because you did not know any of this until Liza comes back and discovers that he's missing, and he tells her, I tried to stop him, I tried to make him come back, I wasn't fast enough. And he was really telling her, he really did tell her, go before something happens to him, bring him back safe. He wanted this thing that literally just murdered his cat to be safe. And to me, I don't know if I would have been able to handle that in all actuality, that this being that I don't know, that I don't understand, killed something I loved, and to be instantaneously forgiven. Like, that is a whole new level of character that we don't really see in many movies nowadays, it seems like. So, and not only that, they're also fiercely loyal to each other. Like, this group of bandits trying to save this fish man, you know, some of them planned it from the beginning, some of them kind of got roped into it, and some of them stumbled upon what was happening and decided to help, and they stuck together regardless of what was happening to help to save this being that didn't deserve to be treated how it was. And they stuck together even though it was against the law and that they could have gone to prison, and they still stuck it out to the end and stuck together and did not give up on each other no matter what happened.
I do have to say that this movie is beautiful, and its storytelling is very unique, and that I think a lot of people were surprised by it when they first learned about it at the Oscars, because of the fact that it was not a mainstream movie by any means. This was not a movie, at least in Knoxville, that was played on every big screen that it could possibly be on. This movie, I didn't see it in theaters. So whenever this movie made its way through Knoxville, it was probably at our independent theater and wasn't shown until maybe months after its premiere, but it was not shown to a mass audience. And I think for stuff like that, it's a little hard because you miss a lot of movies. Because a lot of movies that people will pay money to go to or see that will save up are going to be your mainstream, like superhero movies, which, don't get me wrong, are fantastic films, but
they don't have the same level of storytelling sometimes as the movies that get nominated for Oscars, just like this one. If you really want to go to the movies and really see a good, fantastic story to watch, go and actually research movies that are coming out or have been out. Don't just take what the television or your computer screen tells you to go see. Actually dig into what is out there. I know that last year I didn't get to go to the movies nearly as much as I wanted to, and I missed all of these great stories that I would have heard about. And that's what I really miss about not being able to do 100 movies every single year, is I miss all these stories. How many other stories did I miss? Because I didn't get the chance to go, because I didn't have the money to go, because, you know, moving out on your own kind of eats away at your, you know, fun money. But the art of storytelling in movies is not dead. If anything, the Oscars prove that in every single year. It's because all of these movies that are no one really hears about that are the ones that are taking home the gold every year. The most popular movies are the ones that are usually made the most money and will make the most money. But the best movies are the ones that you have to actually go on an adventure to find yourself. But I am very happy that I watched The Shape of Water, and I do believe that this was actually a really good pick for a Best Picture film, and I watched all of them last year. So I think it's gonna rank up to one of the best that's ever happened. And because of that, I think that it will go on to inspire other people, whether it be artistry or storytelling or camera angles or anything. It's a really good, inspiring movie that I hope others watch and will be interested in watching, because it indeed is a very good story that I would have overlooked had I not cared. Some of the best movies you will ever see are the movies you would initially overlook. And I think that's the biggest challenge, is instead of going to see a movie that you know the ending to, or you kind of know what's going to happen, like a superhero movie, don't get me wrong, go see the superhero movies because they are really good, especially if you've been following them like the rest of the world. Go see them, but I would take the extra time to go pick a movie you wouldn't normally see, because it just may surprise you.